Have you ever wondered why some people glide through life with clarity, confidence and precision, while others feel mentally exhausted, confused or stuck? Why some people seem to understand human behavior instantly, while you sometimes replay conversations thinking, what did they really mean by that? Let me ask you something even deeper. Has anyone ever broken your trust so smoothly that you didn't even realize it until much later? Has someone ever manipulated your love, your kindness, or your time without you noticing until it was too late? If yes, then this video will change your life. And yes, even your love life. So before we begin, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and most importantly, watch till the end, because once you understand these Machiavellian principles, your mind will become sharper, more strategic, and more powerful than ever before. Let's begin your transformation. 1. Control perception, and you control reality. Have you ever trusted someone so deeply that you thought they would never hurt you? Maybe it was the first person you truly loved, the one whose name your heart still whispers sometimes. Think about them for a moment. Think about the nights you stayed awake smiling because of them, and the nights you stayed awake hurting because of them. That memory, that feeling, hold it for a second, because this is where Machiavelli's first truth begins. Never let your heart wander unguarded. He didn't mean you should never love. He meant you should never surrender your mind while loving. Remember the moment when you gave too much? When you overshared, overtrusted, overcared? You thought your honesty was a gift, but maybe they took it as an advantage. Maybe they learned your fears, your weaknesses, your dreams, only to use them later. And tell me honestly, doesn't it still sting? That's why Machiavelli warns us, power comes from control, not confession. When you reveal everything, you give someone the ability to break you. But when you hold a part of yourself, your plans, your emotions, your inner world, you stay strong, mysterious, unforgettable. So ask yourself, in your next love, your next friendship, your next chapter, will you give everything away again? Or will you love smart and stay unbreakable? 2. Always know more than you reveal. Have you ever loved someone so much that you wanted to tell them everything? Every fear, every dream, every wound you carry inside you. Think about that one person. Yes, that one. The one you once trusted blindly. Remember how you used to open your heart like a book in their hands, sharing things you never told anyone else? Your childhood secrets, your insecurities, your hopes for a future that maybe you imagined with them. But tell me honestly, did that honesty protect you? Or did it end up haunting you? Machiavelli's second lesson whispers a painful truth. Always know more than you reveal. Because the moment you tell someone everything, you give them a map to your soul. You give them the buttons they can press to hurt you, manipulate you, or walk away from you when you're most vulnerable. Remember that moment when someone surprised you, not with love, but with how much they already knew about you and how helpless that made you feel. That's why the powerful stay silent about their deepest layers. They listen more, they observe more, they understand more. You don't need to reveal your whole heart to be loved. Sometimes the mystery is your protection and your power. 3. Emotion clouds judgment. Control it. Has your heart ever made a decision your mind begged you not to make? Think back to that moment. You probably already know which one I'm talking about. Maybe it was the night you stayed up waiting for a message that never came, or the time you forgave someone who broke your heart, simply because the thought of losing them hurt more than the truth itself. We've all been there. Love makes us blind, hopeful, irrational. But Machiavelli warns us. Emotion clouds judgment. Control it or it controls you. When you let your emotions run wild, you stop seeing reality and start seeing the version your heart wishes existed. You ignore the red flags. You justify the lies. You choose comfort over clarity. Remember that time you trusted someone because you felt they loved you, even though their actions screamed otherwise? That's emotion overpowering logic. The strongest people are not the ones who feel less. They're the ones who pause before reacting, who breathe before speaking, who let the storm inside settle before they choose their next move. Your emotions are not the enemy, but if they become the master, You become the servant. Control your emotions, or someone else will control you through them. 4. Expect self-interest in everyone. Have you ever loved someone so deeply that you believed they would never hurt you, not even by accident? We all have that one memory. That one person we trusted with everything, our secrets, our hopes, our fears, our heart. And maybe you still remember the moment you realized something painful. People act out of self-interest more than love. It's not always evil. It's not always betrayal. It's human nature. Machiavelli warns us, expect self-interest in everyone and you'll never be surprised. Think back to your own love story. Remember when you kept giving, hoping they'd finally give back? Remember when you made sacrifices thinking they'd recognize your efforts? But instead, they chose what benefited them, even if it hurt you. That moment didn't break you. It opened your eyes. Because when you expect everyone to act out of their own needs first, something powerful happens. You stop relying on fantasies. You stop overestimating loyalty. You stop confusing temporary affection with unconditional love. And strangely, you become calmer, wiser, stronger. Understanding self-interest doesn't make you cold. It makes you prepared. It teaches you that protecting your heart isn't selfish. It's survival. 5. Understand motivation and people become predictable. Have you ever wondered why someone you loved acted the way they did? Why they pulled away? Why they came closer? Why they lied? Why they stayed silent when you needed them the most? Most people assume love is the answer. But Machiavelli teaches something deeper. If you understand someone's motivation, their actions stop surprising you. Think about that one person from your love story. The one your heart still remembers. You thought they changed. You thought they became distant. You thought maybe you did something wrong. But what if they were only following their motivations? Maybe they wanted freedom. Maybe they wanted attention. Maybe they wanted validation from someone else. Maybe they wanted comfort without commitment. Once you understand what someone truly wants, not what they say, but what drives them, their every move becomes predictable. You start seeing patterns instead of promises, intentions instead of words, reality instead of hope. It's almost like reading a map of their heart, and suddenly nothing they do shocks you anymore. And here's the truth people rarely admit. When you understand motivations, you stop taking things personally. You stop overreacting. You stop breaking your own heart. You gain clarity, and clarity is power. 6. Don't fight battles that don't benefit you. How many times have you fought for someone who wouldn't even lift a finger for you? It's painful, isn't it? You remember the arguments you tried to fix, the misunderstandings you tried to clear, the nights you stayed awake, replaying every detail because you thought love was worth fighting for. No matter how exhausted you were, but Machiavelli whispers a truth many of us learn too late. Not every battle is worth the scars. Think about your own love story. Think about the moments where you fought to be understood, fought to be chosen, fought to be valued. But what did you gain? A temporary apology? A moment of fake peace? Or nothing at all? Sometimes the battles we fight are not about love, they're about fear. Fear of losing someone, fear of being alone, fear of starting over. Yet the moment you step back and ask yourself, does this battle benefit me or just drain me? You finally see the truth. Not every conflict deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your effort. Not every relationship deserves to be saved. Walking away isn't weakness. It's choosing peace over pointless war. 7. Appear calm, even when you're not. Have you ever tried to act fine, even when your heart was collapsing inside you? You know that moment when you're staring at your phone waiting for a message that isn't coming, when your chest feels heavy, your thoughts are a storm, and yet you smile, you laugh, you pretend everything is okay. We've all been there. And Machiavelli understood something powerful. The person who stays calm controls the moment. Think back to your own love story. Remember when you reacted out of emotion. Maybe you sent that long message, or made that desperate call, or said something you regretted, and later realized that losing your calm only gave them power. When you appear calm, even if your heart is breaking, you protect your dignity, you protect your mind, you protect your position. Calmness isn't about being cold. It's about being strategic. Because when you stay composed, you think clearer. You choose better words. You understand the situation instead of drowning in it. And here's the truth you already know from experience. People respect your calm. They exploit your chaos. Even if your heart is screaming inside, breathe, slow down, and let your calmness speak louder than your fear. 8. Always think 2 steps ahead. How many times did you realize the truths only after the damage was already done? In love, in friendships, in life. Most people react too late, but not you, not anymore. Machiavelli teaches a powerful truth. The person who thinks ahead controls the outcome. Think back to your own love story. Remember when you trusted someone blindly because your heart wanted the fairy tale? Remember when you ignored the patterns, the warnings, the little shifts in tone and behavior? You saw everything only when it was too late, when the goodbye had already begun, long before the words were spoken. But imagine if you had thought 2 steps ahead. Imagine if you had asked yourself, what does their behavior lead to? What's the next move in this story? What are they preparing for, even if they aren't saying it? 2 steps ahead means you stop being surprised. You start predicting. You start protecting yourself before the emotional storm hits. You stop giving people chances to hurt you the same way twice. You stop letting life catch you unprepared. You start moving smarter, quietly, confidently. Because the one who thinks ahead never loses. They simply shift before the world does. 9. Protect your value through scarcity. Have you ever given so much love, attention, and effort to someone that you slowly forgot your own worth? It happens quietly. You start replying instantly. You start showing up whenever they call. You start giving more than they ever asked for. Because somewhere deep inside, you hope your effort will make them stay. But Machiavelli teaches a truth that hits the heart. What is always available is rarely valued. Think about your own love story. Remember the moment when you realized they stopped appreciating your effort. Not because you weren't good enough, but because you were always there. Always ready, always available. People chase what feels rare. People value what feels earned. People respect what they can't predict or control. And here's the painful part. The more you overgive, the more they overlook you. The more you sacrifice, the more they expect. The more you show up, the more they disappear. But when you pull back, even a little, when you focus on yourself, when you become selective with your time, suddenly your value rises. People notice your absence. People rethink their behavior. People step carefully. Scarcity isn't manipulation. It's self-respect. 10. Master the art of duality. Have you ever felt torn between your heart and your mind? Think about your love story. Remember the times you wanted to forgive, even though your logic screamed, walk away. Remember the times you wanted to stay, even though your instinct said, leave now. That tension, the push and pull, between feeling and thinking is what Machiavelli calls duality. Master the art of duality, he says, and you control both the heart and the world around you. It doesn't mean being fake or manipulative. It means understanding when to be kind, and when to be firm, when to love, and when to protect yourself, when to show warmth, and when to hold back. Imagine rewriting your love story. You're compassionate but not naive. You're passionate but not reckless. You act from both wisdom and empathy. You love, but you never lose yourself. People are drawn to this balance. They trust it. They fear it. They respect it. Duality makes you untouchable because you are unpredictable but not careless. You are strong. You are wise. And most importantly, you are unbreakable. The final transformation, your mind 200% sharper. Let's revisit your story. You loved deeply. You believed easily. You trusted freely. You reacted emotionally. You revealed too much. And you got hurt more times than you deserved. But now you see the world differently. You understand perception. You understand emotion. You understand motivation. You understand strategy. You understand human nature. This new awareness is what sharpens your mind. This new mindset makes you powerful. This new thinking turns your pain into wisdom. You are no longer the person others can deceive. You are no longer the one who overthinks. You are no longer the one who gets blindsided. From this moment on, you become harder to manipulate, harder to read, harder to control, harder to break. This is what Machiavelli wanted. A mind that cuts through illusions. A mind that sees truth clearly. A mind that navigates life strategically. A mind that is 200% sharper than before. And now you have that mind. Ending. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time,